This is the story of how I became a cheerleader at the University of Texas. Growing up, my brother and I were always really close. When I was a freshman in high school, he was a senior, and he decided that he was going to go to the University of Texas for college. When the first football game rolled around, he invited me to come up and watch. But seeing as I'd been a cheerleader my whole life, I ended up watching the cheerleaders rather than the football game. I knew right then and there that I had to be a cheerleader someday. As it turned out, my brother had a friend who was on the cheerleading team. He told her how badly I wanted to be a cheerleader, and she invited me to come to watch a practice. I got to meet the girls and meet the coach, and they told me that the way to become a UT cheerleader was to send in a tryout video. When my senior year rolled around, I started putting the pieces together in my video. My parents videoed me at all the different sporting events that I was cheering at, and we sent in my video. I was so nervous but so excited. I waited and I got my invitation to try out for the UT cheer team. Then I got another letter. I was devastated. I did not get into the University of Texas. I was given the opportunity to join the CAP program, where that means I would go to UTSA for 1 year, and if I maintained a 3.2 GPA, I would automatically be accepted to UT for my sophomore year. I was devastated. I felt like all my dreams were being crushed. I wasn't going to be a student at UT, and I definitely wasn't going to be a cheerleader. My parents and I decided to appeal the decision, and I emailed the coach asking if I could still try out. He was really understanding, and he told me he still wanted me to come. So I did. That weekend, I went up to Austin, and I tried out for the UT cheerleading team. I had a great time at tryouts. I was confident in my skills, and I really did my best. But it turns out I got cut. The coach couldn't take a cheerleader who hadn't been accepted to the university. I was so sad. I didn't even know why I went in the first place. So my parents encouraged me to take up the UTSA offer. They said it was 1 year. If I really wanted to be at UT, I could sacrifice 1 year. So I did. I looked up the UTSA cheerleading program, and they were having tryouts the next weekend. So my parents and I drove to San Antonio. I tried out for the UTSA team, and I made it. I was excited. It was a way to keep my skills up. I knew I would get into Texas, and I knew I would try out again. That year flew by. I had a great time cheering at UTSA. So I was nervous, though, to try out for Texas again. I emailed the coach asking if he wanted me to send in another video. He remembered me, and he told me not to worry about sending in another video, and he couldn't wait to see me at tryouts. I was so excited but so nervous. I knew that this was my last chance to become a cheerleader. I went to tryouts, and I felt really great about it. I'd been there before. I knew what we were going to do, and I was ready. The first day of tryouts flew by. The second day flew even faster, and they told us that the results would be posted online on Wednesday by 5 o'clock. Wednesday took forever. I've never waited so long for 4 days. I was sitting at lunch around 11, and I got a phone call from my mom, and she was screaming. She was so excited, and she told me that I made the Texas cheerleading team. I jumped up and down. I was with all my friends eating in the dining hall at UTSA, and I think I even started crying. I was so happy. September 5th, 2009 came around, and I walked out onto DKR Stadium as a University of Texas cheerleader, and I've never been more proud of myself for not giving up on the biggest dream I've had.